Hey everybody, VSG Joe here, and today we are making bacon. Yes, bacon. So very delicious, very easy to make, and everybody loves bacon. So we're gonna get into it. Only a couple steps. One of them is just making the rub for the bacon, let it sit, and then smoking the bacon. So it's gonna be really easy to get this done. It is gonna take a little bit of time. I kind of lied. It's not gonna be today. You kind of have to let the bacon cure for a week in the fridge, which that's the hardest part, to wait. But anyway, let's get started. So for the rub, bowl, basically all you need to cure the bacon is equal parts of salt. So I've got kosher salt here. This is a half a cup. Depending on how much bacon you're making, you can adjust, but essentially equal parts salt, equal parts sugar. So here's half cup of kosher salt. And to that, I've just got white granulated sugar. Add half a cup of that in. And to be honest with you, you're set to go here if you want to stop. However, I like some pepper with my bacon, so I'm gonna add a tablespoon and a half of just ground black pepper as well. So we're just gonna give that a stir. And this is the base mixture for the bacon. There's nothing else you have to add to it. Now, if you do want to get creative, you could always add, I don't know, some sriracha or some honey and sriracha, or go with some maple syrup and make it a wet brine, or sky's the limit. Whatever you want your bacon to taste like, put it in here. That's all you got to do. So we got this nice and stirred up, and we're ready to go. All we need now is pork belly. All right, so we got our pork belly here. Fantastic how that just materialized out of thin air for us, but pork belly itself is in really good shape, so we're not going to do much. The only thing I'm going to say is, if you have any pieces like this where they're just kind of up in a flap, is you need to go ahead and trim those off, just to kind of make sure everything sits flat and is nice and tidy in there. But you don't want to take too much off of this. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this up a bit, just because I don't have bags big enough to hold this in my refrigerator. And also, we won't eat that much bacon. As most of you guys know watching the channel, I have vertical sleeve gastrectomy, so the amount of food I can eat at any given time is less. So that being said, we want to make sure that we cut it down so we don't waste any. I'm not putting any nitrate into our rub here, so that means that it'll last for a week or two without any problems, but long term, you wouldn't be able to hold it on there very long. So we want to make sure that anything that we're not going to eat in about a week, week and a half, we don't cook right now. So that being said, the other thing is right here, you can see that there's some silver skin. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this off. You don't have to, but part 2 of making bacon is actually smoking it. And anyone that smoked meats knows that if you have this silver skin on here, basically the smoke flavor is not going to penetrate, and that's what we want out of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off, trim it up a bit, and then we'll be good to go to get the brine on. All right, and through the magic of television, we've got everything trimmed up. Like I said, it only took a moment to just trim the silver skin off of this area. There wasn't any on the rest of it, so it makes it real easy to get prepared. So all we're gonna do at this point is start applying our rub, and we wanna do it very generously. We're gonna get the top, we're gonna get all the sides, then we'll put it into a bag, and we'll get the underside of it, which will be the top side once we put it into the bag, so we don't have to flip it, or you'll see. All right, so we're done for now. So right now I've got the pork belly, it's in the fridge. It's gonna go for a week. On a few days from now, so about halfway through, we're gonna flip it over. During this time, it's going to release all the moisture out of the pork belly. And so you see the bag start filling with liquid. That is perfectly normal. It's supposed to happen. That is the curing process after all. So now we wait, I guess. Yeah. All right, everybody, it's bacon day. So I've got the pork belly pulled out of the fridge. All I did was rinse it off under cold water and then pat it dry. And it's really important that you pat the pork belly dry because essentially you're smoking it. So until it won't absorb any smoke until you actually get it dried out and all the water evaporates. So the drier you get it, the more smoke you'll actually get. So this is going to go on the smoker at 225 degrees for about 2 hours. You're looking for an internal temperature of about 150 degrees. So keep your smoker between 225 to 250. You should be about 2 to 3 hours depending on how big pork belly that you're cooking today. All right, so we've got the pork belly on the smoker. I'm putting mine fat side down. You can do it fat side up if you want to. That's all up to you. As you can see, my pecan is starting to catch fire here, and that's what we want. So at this point, we're going to shut our lid. And that will extinguish the fire and start the smoke. And as you'll see here in just a moment, we'll have smoke rolling out the top. Nice thin smoke is what you're looking for here. It's hard to pick up on camera, but it's already starting to come out. So we're gonna let this go for, like I said, about 2 hours, 225 degrees. And we'll check on it every 30 minutes, make sure we don't have any pooling or anything like that happening. Everybody, so we're about an hour into the cook right now, and I'm checking back on this, and I want to show you what it's going to look like and see the liquid on here. So this right here is the enemy of what we want. It's just liquid that's pulled up at the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually go ahead and flip it. We're still rocking at about 225, 230. So we want all that liquid off there, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and flip this whole thing for right now. And that's it. We're just going to let it keep rocking and do its thing. All right, guys, so we're about 2.5 hours in, and my thermometer is telling me that we are done. Take a look. There she is. Nice, great color on it. A little light right here. That's where the water had pulled up, and I hadn't looked at it, so that's on me. But other than that, she is ready to come off the smoker here. So, next steps are we're going to take this inside, we're going to let it cool off, we're going to put it in the refrigerator to let it get nice and cold, and then we can actually have bacon. I know, it's been a week. We've been struggling, waiting on this. We know it's been there, and we're getting close, guys. Just a little bit more time. All right, guys, bacon time. So this has been in the refrigerator for about 4 hours or so. It's got nice and stiff and nice and cold, and really that's what you want. You don't want it to be warm while you're trying to cut it because it's just going to wiggle and shake all over the place and cause you some issues. So we're going to cut this up. So what I like to do is I'm going to put this fat side up, and then I'm just going to square it off a little bit on any of the spots that aren't very even. So over here, for example, it's going to take, just cut this, and I like to call this part mine, but that's just me. Call it what you want. So that's really it, and then probably right here, just take a little bit off just to kind of make, right? All right, so as you can see, you got a nice thick layer of meat through here, and then your fat. So you want to run your slices this way. That way you've got a bunch of meat there that you can work with. If you run it the other way, like this, all you're going to get is a big piece of fat and then just a little bit of meat. That's not really what you want from bacon. You want to have that meat and fat distributed evenly. So I'm just going to go through here, nice thick slices, and try to get these as even as I can. All right, guys, and look at that. Gorgeous, 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 nice thick cut bacon, nice peppery top and bottom. And this stuff is actually ready to go. You can actually eat it just like this. As a matter of fact, that is great stuff. So I use pecan wood, which gives it a nice flavor. You could use hickory if you wanted to. It'd be a little bit stronger. You could use apple and have you some apple wood smoked bacon. Whatever you want. The only wood that I really wouldn't use is mesquite. I think that's too heavy for bacon. It's personal preference. If you like a really heavy smoke flavor, use some mesquite. So here we go. There's a couple more slices here. And now I think it's time to cook some up. I'm gonna fry some up, and then later, probably tomorrow morning, we'll throw some in the oven for breakfast. All kinds of good stuff. But it's time to cook some up and eat this. All right, guys, and we got our bacon, and if it's a little smoky, that's because, well, the fire alarm's not supposed to be used as a kitchen timer. But anyway, we're back. Look at this chunky goodness. That's right. A little charred on the sides. I kind of got carried away chopping up the rest of this bacon. I almost forgot about it, but here we go. That is good, guys. I mean, it's bacon, right? A little salty. Get a nice hit of smoke from the pecan wood that we used. Nice and thick, so if you're gonna put that on a sandwich or just eat it by itself, it becomes a meal. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. I think we're done. Look at this guy. I'm not gonna drop this. This is mine. Whatever. But, guys, I think we're done here. We got our bacon. I've got a nice pile here ready to cook, and I'm gonna go eat. You guys should go make your own and eat it too. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching.